Have you ever wanted to see behind the scenes of an edited video and see all the details of the timeline, how the B-roll was put together, how the audio was overlaid and everything? Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes of a video I've already edited. Okay, now I'm going to share with you my screen. So first of all, you can see the first part of the video is here where I add my name and title. And so this one is cut into its own block, and if you highlight it in yellow and come down to titles, you can see where I had selected split. And if you go up here to edit, then that's where you can edit the words. So first of all, that's the title there. And then these sections were cut to cut out the different pauses. And then right here, I go to B-roll. So what I did here is this right here is a detached audio. And so the original A-roll was this right here, and I detached it. So in order to detach audio, you just first highlight it in yellow and then go down here at the bottom where it says detach audio and then just detach it. And that's how it works. I'm gonna reverse this. Okay, so then when you click play,
being authentic while you're on camera.
So you can see here is the detached audio and it is overlaid on a separate B-roll footage that I already had recorded. And then I added a title here. So highlighted in yellow, go down to titles, and you can see I chose the expand title. And so that's what I did here. Most of the time when I add a title here at the bottom, I go over here to these three dots and I always select full clip duration. That's super important. Unless you want it to be shorter, then you would just select the clip and make it shorter. Here I have different B-roll, and this particular B-roll here, I found it in Wondershare Filmora, and that's another video editing software. Wondershare Filmora is another video editing software program that I use. I use several actually. iMovie is my favorite, and that's usually the one that I like to teach from. And if you'd like to know more details about how to become a video editor, I do have an online class, and it's called Video Editing Made Easy, a Beginner's Guide, and you can check that out on my website if you want to have more details about how to edit a video. So let's hear this part.
So I highly recommend that you watch other videos.
See, I say I highly recommend that you watch other videos. So I want to show B-roll of people watching videos. And so that's what I put here. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned here at the beginning is this green section right here. This is the audio. This is the music. And so I particularly selected this particular song.
Casey Slate, a video editor.
And whenever you add audio or music to a video, it always puts it in at 100%. And in my opinion, that is way too loud. So personally, I like to have the background music somewhere between 30 and 50%. Sometimes different audio tracks will sound different. So some are super loud and you need to pull it all the way down to maybe like 28. And some other ones are a little bit more on the quiet side. So you need to raise it up to maybe like 45 or 50. So you just play with it a little bit. This particular track I have set at 40%, as you can see. And then let's go further on into the video. And here I did the same thing where I detached the audio and I pulled it in. Now the reason why there are two different audio tracks here is because I probably said an in between one of these, or I had a really long pause. So in that case, if I have a long pause, I'll just cut the pause out and then have it closer and tighter together. And again, here's more B-roll that I pulled off of Wondershare Filmora. Again, there's another one. Here are more clips, and here in between, I keep these transitions as none. And I usually do that whenever I load brand new footage into the timeline. I always put everything to none, or I set it to none, because the quicker cuts, I believe, make a more seamless transition initially. And then once you do the initial cut of all the pauses and the ums, Then you can go in and put in the fancy transitions or however you would like the flow to go. Or however you would like the flow to be in the video. Okay, so here's another one where I have this as an entire audio clip here that I detached, and then I overlaid it onto this B-roll. And then here I specifically am talking about swimming, and so I pulled this B-roll of a pool with lanes talking about swimming and competing.
And techniques when it comes to swimming. However, when it comes to the meet and competition time, you need to stay in your lane, keep your head down, focus on what you're doing. Because if you look up and you start looking to the left.
So I think the B-roll is super important, that it flows with the storytelling and it gives the viewer a more visual reference to the topic and what you're discussing. So I think B-roll is an amazing addition to a video to make it more compelling, and is specifically about the storytelling because you're giving a clear view, specifically like visually, to the viewer so they can understand what you're saying. Instead of just saying, hey, instead of just telling you about staying in your lane like in a swim meet and not looking up at your competition, that it's important to stay in your lane and keep your head down. I can just say that, but what if I show you that? You know, that you can get that visual image in your mind of exactly what I'm trying, or of the message that I am trying to convey. It's very impactful. So now when we go over to this one, you can see a little bit more of these little pieces of audio again, because I probably had a pause or an or something like that. So I just wanted to clip it down. So again, this is detached audio over a B-roll clip. Now here we go to a transition moment where I decided not to use none. I put theme, and a theme is just like dip to black. And notice what I did with the music down here. I went over here and I selected fade, and you can fade this music out where it goes right here, and then it goes dip to black. The music has faded out. And then right here, as this new clip is beginning, which is a new segment, we have a new song. Look at the volume level on this song. Remember how I said previously that some songs are more on the quiet side, and so you need to raise it a little bit more? Well, this particular example shows you that. This one, I have it 86%. And on most songs, that's way too high, but apparently with this particular song, that's needed. So as you can see here, this is the music fading out. We have the dip to black and then a new segment starting.
My big tip when talking to my class was just about staying true to yourself.
And then here we go with more B-roll with some detached audio. Then over here, I decided to add some text. So at this moment, because I'm talking about the fear of missing out, I felt like it was just really great to give a visual of the text of that. So when you go down here, you highlight it again in yellow, go down to titles, and you can see I selected expand. And also, I just want to point out, when you add text, you can change the font. So if you go over here and select the letters, look at all the different font options you have. It's quite amazing, all the different options. And you can even change the color of the font as well. Okay, so here's another piece of B-roll with the detached audio. And then here's another particular moment where I decide to use the slide transition. Watch what this does. Slides it. Okay, pretty cool. And then here's another moment where we dip to black. The audio or the music down here changes, and again, when you push volume and then go to fade, you can fade that song out. And it's up to you how long you want it to fade. If you want it to come all the way over here and start fading, be a more gradual fade if it's like that, or you could have it just fade right here. And this needs to be pulled like right there. So it dips to black, the music goes out, and then right here as the screen comes back up, new music starts. And then this particular song, I have it at 44%. So then here's another segment, a couple more pieces. And again, these pieces are cut because there were probably some ums or pauses or certain things. And then I have snowflakes falling because I'm talking about snowflakes. I did a transition here, which is called dissolve. So I'm dissolving from this B-roll to this one. I mean, you could definitely do a none here, but I just really liked the effect of the dissolve here. And as the video editor, it's up to you, your style and how you want it to flow and how you want the video to go. Here we have other cuts. And then this one right here, these are all pictures that I made in Canva. So instead of using the titles down here at the bottom, I just went over to Canva and I made this one. So I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I took the audio and detached it and then overlaid it to where it matches, right? As I'm saying each one. And then I didn't use a particular different style of transition. I used none on all of them, so it just went, more seamlessly like that. And then here at the end, I added a sound effect. So here I wanted to have the clicking sound. So listen.
Make sure to subscribe.
Yeah, so there's a click sound. So that's a sound effect. And then overlaid the audio again. And then here at the end is the ending. And then I faded the music again. So right here, you can see the fade. And then another thing I love to do in all of my videos, it's just my personal preference, is I always go up to the little settings icon and choose fade out to black. I think that always gives a really nice effect as it fades out. And then that's the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed seeing behind the scenes of this particular video that I edited. Stay true to yourself and be authentic. And so if you would like to see that video in its entirety, I'm going to put the link to the video up here, and you can also find the link below. And if you would like to see more information or learn more about how to become a video editor if you are a beginner, check out my class called Video Editing Made Easy, a Beginner's Guide at caseyslate.com. And thank you for watching, friends. Bye!